Sky Sports have recently launched their international fantasy football, something for us to really get our teeth sunk into when the Premier League action takes a back seat. But you might be thinking, I'm not that familiar with international footballers from all over the world, Dom. Well, have no fear. Tom, Sporting Life's football expert and fantasy football connoisseur, is here to help us pick our team. Tom, thanks for joining me. Let's get straight into it. We're on the homepage. What am I clicking?
Yep, so you sign in as normal, you're greeted with this. There's important you select international here because there is a Premier League game as well. Make sure international is selected.
International selected.
And then just hit create new team.
Create new team.
So you can see your eligible formations there. You've got 6 to choose from. You hit let me pick my team. And there you go.
And we're in. Right, budget of £100 million. Let's get into it. Goalkeepers.
Yep, so obviously the key here, you're only picking 11, you're not picking a squad, so don't worry too much about prices. It's arranged in price, as we can see here on the goalkeepers. Obviously, nobody's got any points yet, so we don't know. Alisson's going to be a popular pick, but I'm going to save you 0.7 million by the man at the bottom of the screen there, Emiliano Martinez, if I can get his name out.
Let's put him in.
Argentina's starting keeper, they've got a nice group. We're only targeting the group stage here because of the overhaul at the end of the group. Which is an unlimited amount of transfers between the group and the round of 16. They've got a nice group. He should get some clean sheets in there as well, we hope. And yeah, decent big hitter at a reasonable price. He should be a little bit more, I think.
Okay, well, let's get into defenders then. Now, I'm a traditionalist. Ordinarily, I would go for a 4-4-2, but I believe it's going to be better for points to have a 3-4-3 here. So we'll go for 3 defenders. Where do I start?
You can see there's some big hitters there. I'm going to try and trim the budget a little bit. And let's start. If you scroll up a little bit on this screen, and this is a little hack if you know someone definitely that you want to do, hit that all teams bar there, and you can pick your team. We'll start with Croatia, and a familiar name to us as Premier League fans. Top man there, Ivan Perisic, left wing back for Tottenham.
He's in.
More of a left winger / right winger, centre forward at times. I don't think we'll see him like that at the tournament, but he's an attacking asset. He gets a couple of goals. We're getting more points than we would do for a striker in that position. So Perisic, really good starting point for me.
Okay, where we're heading next?
Let's go to France, I think, would be the next best one. Let's try and get a big hitter in. France, they'll be happy with their World Cup group. And let's go for Benjamin Pavard, 8.7 million there. A player there that I think we're hopefully is going to get some tackles, kind of bonus points in there, get that minimum of 4 to hit that. Could contribute in attack there with goals and assists as well.
That's what we want to hear from our defenders. Right, where next?
Let's go to the Netherlands. Let's take a big hitting Netherlands player. We hope we're going to take a little bit of a gamble here, but very, very cheap price as well. You've got Tyrrell Militia there at 8.6. If you take Daley Blind at 8.4, really excels in those bonus tier categories. And I suppose when we're looking at centre-backs, but if we think the Netherlands going to have a lot of the ball, he's going to be involved in those little passes, centre-mid, centre-back, things like that. He could easily hit past tiers, and 3 defenders there who can contribute going forward, but saving you a fair bit of budget. So I think that's a good starting point for a back line.
Okay, now should I be worried about my budget here? Because it has gone down a lot. We're on 67.5 million.
Not really, no. I think you've got to remember that we're only picking that starting 11. So obviously in other games, you know, we're picking a squad of 15 and we're going, spend £8-9 million on a player. It's clearly not the case. You're only dividing by 11. You've got plenty of budget there to pick, 7 players, 67.5 million there, so a lot to go at. So
it works in a very similar way to fantasy football games that we're all familiar with, but there are different ways to score points. What are they?
Yeah, definitely. Goals, assists, you'd expect. Clean sheet for a defender or a goalkeeper. You're looking at tackles, you're looking at passes, you're looking at shots, and you're looking at saves. So you need 2 shots on target, you need 60 at least, 60 passes, and 4 tackles. You're going to get bonus tier points there. Remember that. So there may be a player that's not as attractive, typically on fantasy football, but they might thrive in this game, and it's a player we'll come on to very shortly.
Right, midfielders, the exciting players.
Well, Dom, I know you want an England player, so should we go to England?
Straight into England.
Very excited. I'm sure you're convinced they're going to win the whole thing. Look at this. This is the exciting thing. Look how much you're scrolling, and we've still not got to the player that I want here.
This is exciting. What?
Keep going. Declan Rice.
Wow, he's only
7.6 million. He's England's second cheapest midfielder.
He's got to be a guaranteed starter.
Exactly. In this England team that, come on, they should win the group, if we're being brutally honest. They're one of the big nations that should win it. And for the exact reasons we just spoke about there, your tackles, your passes, things like that. He won't score many, if he does at all. But a player you can be confident is going to get you 4 to 5 points every game. So yeah, nice one to keep you ticking over in midfield.
Great, so we've got an England player in there. We're going to be looking at those passing points from Declan Rice. Where next?
If you go on the sub menu and hit all teams, I think let's have a long list look at this one. Let's take that top line, Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, he's expensive though, 10.5 million.
It's justified though. It's fine, I think, to use a bit more of your budget on a top-end player. Belgium, flat track bullies.
So I can get De Bruyne?
Of course you can, yeah.
Are
Do you
we
want
putting
De
De Bruyne
Bruyne? I think you should go for Kevin De Bruyne. Assists, magician, makes things happen.
I also like Junior, and he's slightly cheaper. Which of the two players there, though, do you think has an easier start to the tournament?
Oh, it depends what you want, really. I think Brazil.
Points, Tom. Points.
Well, obviously, yeah. In terms of how you want your points, though, Vinicius Junior, do you want someone who's going to get the shots? Lots of shots for Real Madrid and goals. Kevin De Bruyne, who, I mean, Belgium should get through that group with pretty little bit of ease. I'm going to let you pick, though, here. I think you've got a nice choice to go at. I think both are your top two midfielders well worth considering.
I'm going to go for De Bruyne.
Okay,
I've got a good feeling about it.
Okay, then
so that's a big chunk of my budget, though, so where next?
Exactly. So let's try and save a little bit of that budget. Let's go to Germany, another nation that we're fancying to do all right. They're in a tough group with Spain, but the thing, of course, here as well is that it doesn't really matter if they don't win. That man at 8.5 million, Joshua Kimmich, is going to be a really important player for them.
He's in.
And a player who's going to excel in all the bonus tiers. Shots, he can score, tackles, passes, everything's going to go through him, set pieces, the lot. 8.5 million, probably one of the bargains of the tournament for me on this game.
So I've got 40.9 million left and 4 players to pick. 10 million each sounds like enough.
Definitely. Definitely. So you can kind of have a little look at the rest of the midfield if we go
let's do
to all teams there. Now, it's kind of a little tricky one, really, how you want to balance this. There's a number of players there. I mean, do you want an out-of-position player, but you are doubling up on Germany, and Kai Havertz is going to be their centre-forward in the tournament?
I want to spread it around a bit. I want to try and avoid 2 players from the same team.
Okay, let's go for... Do you want a Brazil? Have we got a Brazil player in there yet? What about Anthony for Brazil, playing on that right wing? I mean, you could go there, or if you want, the man you mentioned, Vinicius Junior, we've got the budget to do so.
Have both?
Absolutely, you can. So if you look up here, we've got 30.7 for our 3 strikers. We're averaging out at 10.
But strikers are surely where the money is.
Absolutely, but if you click on that tab now, look at the amount of options we've got to go on here. Lionel Messi is going to be an obvious one, and I think he is well worth using the majority of your budget for.
Last World Cup, Copa America winner.
Absolutely.
And he is Messi.
Argentina fancy to go far, but I mean, come on, look at that group. They're going to have a great time in that group, you'd expect there as well.
But now I've got less than 20 million.
19.7, this is it. But this is the thing as well, you can still afford one of these big hitters still. You can still get a Neymar, an Mbappe, or a Kane, because there is one that is drastically underpriced that I could give you.
Fine. Well, I think I'm going to go for Ballon d'Or winner Karim Benzema.
Yep.
I think he's a prime candidate for the Golden Boot, which for me translates into points in my fantasy football team. Could be a mistake, but I think I like the look of this team.
He's been really good since coming back in for France as well. So we've got 9.1. If you scroll down to kind of that 9.1 area, you'll see the type of strikers that we're getting to now.
Hey, not
Darwin
bad.
Núñez, of course, of Liverpool. It divides opinion, but he's someone who can deliver. Memphis Depay's just outside of that range, but that's fine. Now, interestingly, Dusan Vlahovic there at 8.7. Ignore that and go to Serbia as the team.
Okay. Ooh.
Here's a misprice that I think, I don't know, should it be the other way around?
Mitrovic,
For a whole 1.2 million, you can get Alexander Mitrovic cheaper.
So it's 1.2 million cheaper.
1.2 million cheaper. Not 1.2. Yeah. 1.2 million cheaper than Vlahovic.
Unbelievable form in the Premier League.
Scoring loads, is in great form at the moment. And there, you've got a solid team that can compete. And crucially, you've got 1.6 million in the bank as well, because you're going to make transfers. You can make 3 a game day, 21 over the tournament, plus that overhaul period as well. You can really go to the limit, or you could keep a little bit in the bank. There's kind of no right or wrong way to approach it, but just shows there the likes of Mitrovic. There's value options, Kimmich in midfield. There are value options around the squad. Do
you know what? I think that is a pretty solid looking team, and I think it comes to something when Mitrovic is looking like the weaker player in that team, despite the form that he's in. Exactly,
and even then, you've got 1.6 as well, so later on, you've got unlimited transfers right up until kick-off on Sunday of that Qatar-Ecuador game. So yeah, you've still got plenty of room to play around with.
Okay, fine. Right, so I click next, I assume.
Yes.
And I pick my team name. What should we go with? Let's go with MK Doms.
Okay.
And then, I'm a Bradford City fan, so let's put that in there. Submit team. My team is submitted.
There you go. And as you can see, transfers left unlimited. That's right the way up until kickoff. You're in a little league of Bradford City fans as well, so you can see how that's going. And if you hit my team and hit that little captain's tab.
So this is what I was going to ask you next. This is an important thing because
absolutely, yeah.
Slightly different on the Sky Sports Fantasy Football game. Tell us about the difference here.
Double points as your captain, obviously, but you get captain every single day rather than across the match day as a whole. So when you get greeted here, I mean, initially...
do I have to log on every single day to
No,
pick
you
the
can
captain?
set it now, pick it and leave it.
Right.
So for some, that Sunday game, maybe an Ecuador player, when their squad's up, they've announced it very late, so that will come to the game as well. But here, you kind of pick, and
so
each day...
I think Monday we'll go with Rice.
Yep. Should get your tackles
Tuesday...
and passes.
Oh, I've got to go with Messi.
It's got to be Messi, hasn't it? It's Saudi Arabia.
Wednesday, I think we'll go De Bruyne. I think of the
Got
three
to fancy
players,
some attacking returns there.
And I'm going to have to go with Vinicius Junior.
Yeah, it's the only downside to having a Mitrovic is they will play Big Nation, but that's fine. We don't have to worry about that.
But they're probably going to lose to Brazil.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And
you've got a Brazil player, so it's okay.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so I'll confirm those captains.
You hit confirm captains.
They're locked in.
You're done. And you can change that right up until the first one of every single day as well. So this is the key. Make sure you do everything before the first game. So you see there, 1 o'clock, 10 a.m., things like that. Make sure you make those little changes beforehand. But you can change your captains right up until 10 a.m. on that Wednesday for that Wednesday.
If you want to take part, you haven't got long. So head to fantasyfootball.skysports.com and sign up now. The address is just down there. There are special leagues you can join as well. At Sporting Life, we have a special league where you could win yourself £1,000. So get signed up to that. Details are on screen now. And for everything else World Cup, you can head over to sportinglife.com where you can find top tips and daily best bets coming from the likes of Tom and the Sporting Life football team.